Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm about to go on a rant. Just a little heads up. How many of you have read Women Who Run with the Wolves? How many of you have read that book that talks about women collecting or connecting with their inner wild? Hi, Sylvia. If you have read Women Who Run with the Wolves and know about this and know about society and our world and pretty much everything inside of us trying to silence and repress women, which is something I just can't fucking handle on my Instagram, is when I have a point of view, which is my point of view and doesn't need to be everybody's point of view, what triggers me is that, like, it's important that women are allowed to speak. It's important that we are allowed to speak and to express and to respect ourselves and to love ourselves and to set boundaries. And when people tell me to not set boundaries, it pisses me off so much. Number one, they're my boundaries. How are you an authority of what my boundaries are allowed or are not allowed to be? You're not. And the second piece is, Jesus fuck, women need boundaries right now. Boundaries are self-love. Boundaries are respect. Women have been not choosing themselves and not respecting themselves for a really long time. And if you don't like it, if you are a woman and you don't like it, or you're a man that don't like it, look at that. Okay? I had this woman, I set a boundary with my women's group because I have women applying to be part of my women's group right now. We've extended our applications and our enrollment period. And when I get an application, I fucking sit with it. I am so present and intentional. I go sit under a tree. I read these women's stories and their answers and what they've expressed. It's sacred to me. It's important to me. I'm serious about it. I am doing spirit work with women that is really important, and I take it seriously. And I spend 30 to 40 minutes with each application. I feel into my body of whether it's good for them. If it's not, I direct them elsewhere. I feel into my body with whether they're a fit and they're going to grow with the women that are in it. And 10 different women have wrote back, and then I spend a huge time spending a beautiful reply of like why I'm choosing them and what growth I want them to step into. It's a lot of energy and bandwidth and like time and intention. And I've had like 10 women that I've approved right back and say, yeah, I can't afford it. Sorry, I got to the last question about the price and I just decided to hit submit and go, fuck it. I'll just see if I get in for like shits and giggles. How the fuck is that respectful? It's not. So anyways, I made this new question on the application that says, listen, please do not submit your application unless you are fully able to commit to the financial investment of this program. I carefully review each and every application, holding space for each person who spends the time to fill this out. I take this process seriously, and I ask that you do too. This is the financial cost of the program. So I've literally, you can't even enter the application without seeing that now. It says the price. I don't think I can make it any more clear. And I posted this as a post and a story because I wanted to show not just women, but people that it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to like have that be in your face and be like, I fucking respect myself. I fucking respect myself. I fucking respect my time. And if you are going to show up, you also need to respect my time. I don't give a fuck if that offends people. And so I go through, I get all these comments, right? And first people are upset about the cost of. So number one, this program costs $5,000, and if you pay it all at once, it's $4,000. This is spirit work, and our world doesn't understand the value of investing in ourselves, but the value in investing in ourselves is invaluable. This program and the work that I do doesn't just help people's business, it helps their relationship with themselves, with their marriages, with their partners, with their friends. It pisses. So number one, don't tell me how much I should charge for my shit. I know what I should charge for my shit. I actually charge $500 an hour, and this fucking program is not even. I could be charging 10 grand for this. So number one, get fucked. Number two, another woman wrote me saying, what did she say? I think that we all have to do better right now. So she's saying that I need to be more thoughtful and careful how I communicate my boundaries and that I can do better. Jesus Christ! The work right now is women choosing themselves. The work right now is women respecting themselves. The work right now is women taking up space. That's the fucking work. And you're gonna come and shit on my fucking page and tell me to not respect myself, to not love myself, to not choose myself, to not set boundaries. That is the opposite of the work. I am teaching, my intention with sharing that was saying, hey, it's okay if you also choose yourself. It's okay if somebody cancels. It's okay to have a 48-hour cancellation policy to respect your time. It's okay to take your last month as a deposit with a program so you're not getting fucked over. It's okay to have a legal agreement to ensure that your boundaries are respected. I'm teaching women how to choose themselves. I'm teaching women how to show up for themselves and respect themselves. So don't you dare tell me that I am not doing the work. The work that I am doing is exactly what our world needs right now. And it gets me so pissed off to especially have women say that. However, a woman decides to take up space, assert herself, have boundaries, that's not your fucking thing. And if you're uncomfortable with how loud I am and how I demand that space, it's because women haven't been given that space. It's because women have been silenced and told to be nice and to be quiet and to be pretty and that's our value. And right now, women are embracing their wild, they're finding their voices, they're taking up space. This is exactly what I'm here to teach. So don't fucking come and tell me otherwise, okay? Woo! Seriously, okay? And the whole point of that post was boundaries, and boundaries are self-love. Boundaries are how we tell people how to respect us. If I'm sitting here and being resentful and pissed off that people are not respecting my time, it's my job to communicate what I need. And so I did communicate what I needed. And I was just sharing like, hey, this is kind of in your face, but like, this is also self-love. It's our job to be clear with what our needs are. So if you have a program, if you have clients that you work with, if you have friends that are like 30 minutes late, it's okay to have a conversation with them and say, that's not okay because how I trust and respect myself and love myself, that's not meeting the context of how I show up for myself in my life. I don't work with clients who don't respect my time. I don't want to have friends who don't respect my time. I'm definitely sure as fuck not going to date somebody or sleep with someone who doesn't respect my time. It's okay that when we're not being treated how we want to be treated in our businesses, in our friendships, in our marriages, with our families, to set boundaries. People don't learn if you don't say no. They don't learn. We need to teach them. They're not mind readers. When I first moved to Encinitas, I made a friend and she was wanting to like leave things really flowy. And I was like, I actually really like making agreements and setting times and showing up on time, and honoring agreements for me means that I respect my energy and my time as well as your energy and your time. So if you're not, being impeccable with your word, the 4 agreements. If you're not willing to be impeccable with your word, then like, we're not going to be friends. We're not going to be friends because I treat myself with respect. If you can't commit to 4 o'clock to meet me for a coffee, I sure as fuck ain't giving you any of my energy or time. Whew. Don't worry, it's getting saved. It's getting posted. So at least the good thing is that people that try and repress me, at least you inspire me to create more art. And the reason I'm calling my next book, There Are Cobwebs on Her Vagina, is because women are so incredibly repressed with their voices, sexually, in so many different ways, and I'm fucking over it. I'm working with a poet from the Middle East right now who's working under a pen name, who can't even, if she says her real name, she will get targeted and murdered. Women are being repressed all over this world in different ways, in big ways and in small ways. And one of the small ways that I can't handle is that when I take up space and I'm loud, that people say, be quiet. Don't tell me to be quiet. Don't tell women to be quiet. Women need to take up space. Let women be too loud right now. The pendulum has been swung one way. let it swing back for a little while. It might be too strong and eventually it will come here, but like, let women be loud. Let women take up space. Let women choose themselves. Let women have whatever fucking boundaries they want to have. I'm sure there's people out there that have even stricter cancellation policies than me and even stricter boundaries than me. This isn't anything. So don't fucking come into my house and tell me to shut up, okay? All right. End rant. Women's enrollment is still open, everybody. Oh my God. The reason I'm keeping women's enrollment open is because we actually have 9 women signed up, but I have 2 women in Europe and 1 woman in Australia, and I'm thinking I need to have 2 different groups to accommodate all of my time zones. So we're keeping enrollment open right now, and it is open until Friday. Thanks for tuning in and holding space for me to express myself. I'm definitely fire. I'm a manifestor in human design, and my creation emotion as a manifestor is anger. So how I actually create is in anger. So the reason you might read posts sometimes that are fire is that like that's how I usually get my steam and my create as a manifestor. Human design is also really cool to look at. Yeah, you guys should join the work. Join the group. The group is amazing. And it's just such a piss off because like when people don't it's hard because people don't always understand what we're saying and they're not meant to, and that's usually okay. But when women tell me or people tell me that I'm not doing my work to empower women when like I'm literally doing that and trying to do that and sharing something for that intention, to be misunderstood super pisses me off. It hurts me. That's what anger is. I feel hurt underneath it and I'm aware of that. So there's hurt and there's anger involved in that of like, please see what I'm trying to say and do. Please see beyond my sharp edges and my anger and my strength sometimes, and see that like I'm trying to stretch the context of women being able to choose themselves and choose their truth and stick up for themselves. And I have to be loud sometimes to do that. It has to be uncomfortable. We're all going to be uncomfortable when we have to stretch into that space. That's why setting boundaries is hard. That's why we avoid conflict and conversations that are uncomfortable. It's because it's taking up this new space for ourselves, and that space is just self-love. And a lot of the time in our business, when we start to really respect ourselves, and you know, if you're answering your clients' emails at 2 a.m., I did a webinar, and a woman came on and she's like, I'm always available to my clients and I'm depleted and exhausted. You're enabling them to have that behavior. And what happens is when we say, no, actually, now I'm available from 9 to 5, unless it's an emergency, is that we've given them a whole fucking leash. They've been running around like a dog, destroying shit. And then when we shorten that leash, there's going to be a reaction. But the reaction is because they existed when you weren't fully loving yourself. So those clients very well might drop out of your life. Those friendships, those relationships, they very well might drop out of your life because they were there when you weren't choosing yourself. And when you start to choose yourself, when you start to set boundaries in your life, when you start to respect yourself, you're going to need to lose some people. I have a great metaphor that is like, imagine that you are on a bus. It can be a business bus, a friend bus, a life bus. And like the second that you elevate, change, expand, choose yourself deeper, things shift in that fucking bus. It's like colors of seats are changing, the music is changing, and some people are gonna get the fuck off because they don't resonate with you, because they aren't loving themselves as much as you are now loving yourself. They are not choosing themselves as much as you are now choosing themselves. And so it's also okay to have empathy and compassion with them of why they're leaving, why they react, why they're being children. All of that is okay. And then the second piece is, now there's all these empty seats, right? And then the next thing is, next stop, there's people coming on your fucking bus, and they're fun. They love themselves. They're ready to meet you in this new space. They've got boomboxes. They brought snacks. They're telling jokes. There's new energy in your space. It is good to lose people. It is good to fire clients who don't respect you, but it's also good to take accountability of, I let those clients come in with muddy feet and jump all over my fucking white couch while I sat there and went, ah! Rather than saying no, right? So we have to take accountability of, I'm never the victim. And I'm no longer accepting that anymore. I'm now choosing myself. I'm now entering this new space. So, so good. Thank you for joining. If any of you feel called for this, women's enrollment is still open. And because I'm doing 2 groups and because there's so many time zones, I might extend it past Friday. I'm still deciding that. We have 9 women signed up. I want to do 2 groups of 10. I don't want 1 group of 20. It feels important to me to have a small group so that I can have sharing and everyone can have space to talk, because women need space to fucking talk and express. So I'm going to be doing 2 groups of 10, and so I'm extending applications. I want Australians and Europeans. We already have 3. I want people from that side of the world. We have some Americans and Canadians as well. Everybody who signed up is a fucking badass so far, and I'm so excited, and I'm holding space for the rest of the women that I am going to work with to show up, because this is the work I want to be doing. This is it. I got back from Crete. I got worked. I got my concussion. I got snapped into place of like, what are you doing? What are you focusing on? This is what I want to focus on. Women's group and working on my book is where I am. So this is what I'm holding space for. I'm holding space for you to show up. Please apply if this resonates. And don't waste my time. Do not fill out that fucking application. I will say it one more time. Do not fill out the application. You can pay once for $4,000, 2 times if you need a little bit of space between, and it's $5,000. So that's the cost. It has it on the application. I want people who are serious about choosing themselves, who understand that yes, there's over 20 hours of group coaching. 20 hours of group coaching. There's also a 60-minute call. There's a Facebook community of women that you're going to be able to talk to whenever you want and support each other. There is so much fucking value in here. I'm going to give you homework and podcasts and things to read. There is a ton of value. It is worth more than $5,000. So that's the cost. If this resonates, please apply. I'm going to post this in my feed because it's fire. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your beautiful hearts and words of affirmation. Anger is beautiful. I understand from the work that I've done that anger is hurt, which I can identify. It's like I feel misunderstood in my work when I'm trying to tell people to take up space, which is wanting to empower women, and then I get stepped on. It pisses me off because 1, women have been stepped on for fucking centuries, and 2, it's what I'm trying to do is teach women how to choose themselves. So that's where I know where my anger comes from. Anger is a payoff, as an emotion, is that we usually create it when we're feeling like we don't have any power or we're not in control, because we really want to establish control and to be able to express. So we don't always need to communicate in anger. It can be really damaging because it can shut people down and they can't hear us. But I also think that every single emotion that we have is a valuable teacher, that we are not our emotions, and it's really important to feel them and honor them when they come. And now I'm not angry anymore. I let it out. I'm going to go for a surf. I have a great day. I'm meeting a couple people that are applying for the program. I've got some calls with my team. I'm no longer angry, and it's gone. And I've expressed it and released it. So expressing emotions is beautiful if we do them in ways that are appropriate. I'm not saying it, every time I'm angry, I'm going to do an Instagram live rant. Great question to sign off with. My name is pronounced Yana. My father is Greek, and it's a European name. So Yana is my name. You guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for holding space for my anger and my words. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Remember to choose yourself. Remember, boundaries are self-love. Remember that no is a complete sentence. Just choose yourself, man. I don't even care if you're a woman. Choose yourself. We need to choose ourselves. Then when there's less resent, there's less all the things. Just choose yourself. Have a beautiful day.